Oh.
Hello friends. I recently took a friend of mine out into the woods for sort of a survival 101. The thing is, he is going on to a survival show and wanted to learn some things before he went out into the woods. Now, one of the most essential skills, of course, out in the woods is fire making. And here's the thing, see if you can catch this before I tell you. This man is a chef, and that made fire making so much easier than when I usually teach it. What, a chef? How does that relate, you might ask? Well, if you haven't caught it already, I'll explain. There are tons of good videos out there on fire making techniques, but what there may not be is a video on how important it is to not be afraid of fire. When we're trying to learn fire making skills, if we are afraid of the fire, we can't get in there and work with the fire and really nurture it the way that we often have to when we are doing friction fire of some sort. As a chef, this gentleman worked with hot things all the time. He knew when something was going to burn him and when he could safely handle extremely hot items. So he was not afraid. He could hold that tinder bundle. When it erupted into flame, he did not drop it. He could set it gently right where it was supposed to be. Today, I want to share with you the secret to becoming unafraid of fire. Hi friends, my name is Kenton Whitman, and together with my family, we aim to share wilderness skills, mindfulness practices, wild edible plants, family adventures, and skills that break you free from the limits of civilized life. Join us by subscribing to our channel and joining our YouTube family. I've brought some assistants out here to encourage you, because if these two can do it, you can do it. And same here, if I can do it, you can do it. There's no witchery here. This is not magic. This is just making friends with the fire by understanding how heat transfers. And maybe there is a little magic in it, in the sense that when we resist something, we experience this with the cold too. When we lay back into the cold and we resist it, we feel it in a different way. And when we just relax into a situation, it's not usually as harmful. So you just saw me moving that stuff around.
I know, how did you do that? And like, can I do that? Or did you somehow get your hands, I don't know, conditioned to it? It looks kind of like you might get burnt. And how could anyone do that? Can other people do it? Or like, how did you do that?
Definitely. And I think you'll be able to do it here in a moment.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Liliani, you weren't out here. What she's referring to is my ability to move this fire around, to, let's say, move some of these things and switch around some of the stuff, or even I can pick up this fire and I'm going to move it over here. Okay.
Oh, wow. That's really cool.
So,
It's still, like,
and
doesn't it hurt?
it might look like my hands are burned. This is just all the charcoal, the
But
ash.
doesn't it burn your hands?
I'm not burned at all from that.
But
0 burns.
the fire, doesn't it burn you?
See that?
Your hands aren't even...
Not burned at all.
Ow!
So if you want to learn
Resistors
this,
burn.
yeah. So if you want to learn this for yourself, one of the best ways to start is, usually as a kid, we've all put our fingers through a candle flame. And we can do the same thing here. This part, the actual flames, is what's scary for a lot of people. And so when we first see that, we think, oh my gosh, if I get anywhere close to that, not only am I going to be burned, my skin, but my clothes might start on fire.
Oh yeah, how do you not get supposed to turn fire when you did that? Like,
Well,
when
it takes a lot longer often for something to start on fire than we think. As we start learning how to do friction fire, we discover that a lot of times the materials we're working with, we have to work pretty hard to get them to start into flame.
Oh yeah, I've done that. I've
Yeah.
shot a million times with the what's the thing?
Yeah.
Out of fire and it
With the
just
fire
went out.
steel.
Ah.
So you girls, if you want, you can try this. You can reach in, and at first you can go fast, and then see actually how hot is that, and you might find that you can just not worry about the flames as much as you think you would have to.
That's freaky.
But start with a fast one,
Okay.
and see how hot it actually is to you.
Okay. But it wasn't very hot.
No?
No.
You want to try?
I'll say it's not
I'm
gonna
scared to get
Just don't
in my
smash.
face.
The real danger is banging your hand into that.
It's in my face.
It's kind of
You
smoky,
got
isn't it?
Just do it.
It's then right in my face.
It's actually more
I can't think of doing that.
smoky.
You may feel that fear that Liliana's feeling. Whoa, this can't be, because we think fire is going to burn us. But
It's in my face.
through
It's hard to
experience,
do it.
Go over there.
yeah, you can come around here. But through experience, we're going to find that it's not as
You can blow it.
hot as we think.
It's sort of hard when you blow it because
I can't.
okay, LJ, when it gets high, that's when you should do it since then you're not. It's just easier.
So Mirabelle, starting to experience it. You put your hand through there really slowly that time, didn't you?
Yeah, it felt a little hotter, but it wasn't burnt.
And now you're starting to get a gauge. How long can my hand be in there before it's going to get pretty painful or burn? And you're discovering it's a lot longer than you may have thought.
When the fire's like that.
Wow, nice.
See, LJ, if I can do that, you can certainly go fast. LJ, you can do it. Good. Now try it
Feel
like
any
a
heat
little
at all?
closer, like this. No.
No,
Try it a little closer.
none at all.
It's such an interesting. The air almost feels thick when you start doing it
You
slowly.
get to touch fire, which is kind of, it does feel thick, doesn't it? It has
Which
a feeling,
at first
a
kind of makes you
sensation to it.
panicky because it's like, but then it's like it's just a sensation. It's not doing anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do it. Yeah.
I'm gonna hit this eventually.
Nice. So after you've started to put your hand through and to feel that fire and feel like how much your hand can be in there without getting
Oh my
burned.
gosh! Now that it's bigger, it's kind of nerve-wracking.
You want to try again? I'm going to have you pull this back actually.
Okay, wait.
And I'll explain why in a second, because believe it or not, I'm going to talk about some fire safety here. Go ahead.
Is it okay to have this stuff?
Yeah,
Oh wow, that's really interesting.
nice, huh?
I'm not sure if I want to do it.
So that's the first step,
Watch out.
is reaching in and touching
so
the
cool.
fire a little bit. Now the first part of the fire safety and getting to know how to do this is to understand that some woods or substances, whatever you're burning, are going to burn hotter than others. So if you're burning, let's say, oak, then there's going to be more heat both in the coals and in the flames than if you are, say, burning pine or aspen. So your woods that have less BTUs are going to be better for starting to practice this with. But whatever you're using, it's just going to be a matter of how long your skin can be up against that heat before you burn, and you're going to start to get a feel for that when you start to practice it and become familiar with it. It's no different than my chef friend. He's using hot stuff all the time, and he learns exactly what he can hold on to, what he can't. Another important safety tip when you're learning this is that a lot of our clothing today is made out of artificial fabrics, plastic basically. And this stuff burns. If that starts on fire and it melts on your skin, it's really, really nasty. Again, it doesn't happen as quickly as you might imagine, but if you're going to start to learn this and make friends with fire, I'd advise wearing some cotton, some wool, some leather, any kind of natural material, that linen, that is not going to melt onto your skin like that. The next skill you can start with is learning to pick up a coal. This is really, really important when you are working with friction fire or with in the woods, when you're dealing with fire, you come back to your camp and you just have one little coal left. If you're sitting there trying to grab it with a stick, you often destroy it. But if you can pick it up and put it into a tinder bundle, you can restart a fire. So to learn how hot the coals are, you can pick up
Oh my gosh.
a stick
I'm still like,
that has a coal on the end. So I can touch it a little bit and see, oh, how hot is that actually? I'm going to give it a quick little touch.
oh my gosh. Don't blow it like that. Because
Just really quick.
Oh, I didn't feel anything except for stick. It's
Nothing, right?
very hot. It didn't hurt me.
I have to get a new one here.
Oh my gosh. Now that one?
So there's one there, right? But look, I can hold that in my hand.
Can I hold it in my hand or will it burn me still?
Can you touch it again? Wow, amazing, huh?
Not very hot.
I don't have to touch it.
Yeah, I'll do that.
You want to touch it?
Touch it. It's not going to hurt you. I'll do.
So we're getting familiar with it. Now if this was, here I have something to hold on to, but if it's like that, I can still pick that coal up and I can put it into a tinder bundle. I have to switch it around a little bit, but see that?
Oh my gosh, you're going to blow it in your hand.
So I still have a very viable coal here. I'm not going to blow it into the flame, but you can see there, I can transfer that over.
You're not going to blow it in the flame? Why not?
Time.
Oh.
That I can put into there and start a fire with. And there's,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, I can pick up these coals and put them into a tinder bundle.
I want to be able to do that. It's kind of scary.
This big one here? Yeah.
Is it more hot? Oh my gosh, is it more hot?
Just part of it. So that part up there. But it's not any more hot. I can touch that to my skin and hold it. There's a part of it.
I want to be able to hold it, but I'm worried about it. What exactly do I have to do?
Put it in your hand quick.
I'm just like do it
Yeah.
like this. Oh gosh. Okay. Okay, so I just kind of move it around.
Mm-hmm.
What happens if you can't move it around?
Okay. Go ahead. If you need to, move it around.
Oh yeah, it's
Can you
not bad.
blow on it?
Hold
There's still
on.
some orange. Whoa!
I blew it right out of my hand.
Okay, this one's much hotter.
Oh man, I don't know if I can do that one.
Oh, ah.
Yeah, let's maybe not do that one right while I'm starting.
And so that one I can feel is hotter. That's probably off of a hardwood. We had some maple in here and some oak. And so that one's a lot hotter, so I have to be quick with it. But that doesn't mean that, oh, I dropped this coal. It's the only one I've got left. It's a really hot one. Still, we want to be comfortable enough that I can pick it up and I can put it and tuck it in there. And get a new fire.
How could you just hold it though?
Do that.
Does it not hurt when you have
Same thing. So we're just getting to make friends with the fire, know when it's really going to hurt us, and then we can lose that fire fear and make friends with it, and that is going to completely change our fire making skills out in the woods. So this is not an excuse or invitation to be foolish with fire, but to get to know it like any other medium that we're going to work with. If you are going to learn to use a knife, you learn the parameters of it. You learn how to use it safely. We don't have to fear it. If you're going to learn how to use a gun, if you're going to learn how to be out in the cold You have to get familiar with when you're going to hit that hypothermia. It's the same thing here. To become really effective with fire, to become really friendly with fire, we just have to get to know it like we would know a friend. And then we'll find that there's not so much
to feel the smoke come
fear.
through your hands, the really thick smoke.
Yeah, it's
So that
pretty
when you
neat.
blow it.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, I don't know why I can do that.
All right, friends. Share questions, thoughts, and ideas. Tell me about your relationship with fire. And can't wait to see what you have to say in the comments.